Hi there. Now, what you're about to see is an experiment. I've had to put this video into 3 sections because the middle section, as I say, was an experiment and I wasn't sure if it was going to work. But the significance of it shows you the possibilities of what's possible in terms of finding a greater sense of inner peace within ourselves, and how that can begin to impact those around us and the wider world. The experiment that you're about to see gives an inkling of what may be possible if more of us could choose to empty our mind, even briefly, a number of times a day, and the benefits of that does compound over time. And if you watch this video to the end or close to the end, what possibilities you can see for yourself, for those you love, and your community, the people that you interact with, and the potential on a much wider scale. So the experiment is just about to begin, and I'll rejoin you again after the experiment. This is an on-camera experiment, and I'll explain briefly what's happening in the moment. So at the moment, I'm unsure of how this experiment is going to work. And so these dowsing rods probably reflect how I am at the moment and a degree of uncertainty, let's put it that way. But now, what I'm choosing to do, I'm going to empty my mind. And as I empty my mind, and as I move past the uncertainty of doing this on camera and breathe a bit more deeply and keep returning to emptying my mind, something eventually happens, which is this energy from my heart then rises upwards to fill the space in my mind. And basically what you're seeing now is, as my mind, I choose to willingly empty my mind, then my heart energy can expand and rise and communicate with my thinking mind. And what you're actually seeing as far as the dowsing rods are concerned is, as my heart energy expands, it pushes these dowsing rods apart. Now I'll put these down now. Now, I discovered this again by accident. I'd been on a course that was supposed to be about dowsing, and yet we did absolutely zero dowsing over the weekend. But I discovered, how you can make dowsing rods out of wire coat hangers. So that's what I did. These are friends. They're a bit more fancy. You can tell. And so I was experimenting with these dowsing rods. And at the time, I wanted a better communication. Actually, it was with a family member. We don't need to go into who. And what I realised was that this was before I knew about emptying my mind and my heart energy rising, but that with these dowsing rods, that if I thought of something beautiful, they would separate. Or if I had some anxiety or dissatisfaction with something, they would cross. And it's only now again that now I realise what's happening in terms of when we empty our mind, that heart energy then has the opportunity to rise because it has an empty space that it can rise to. For want of a better term, these are layman's terms because I don't even think science has words to describe this moment in time. But I can begin to see, and hopefully you can begin to see, it's not just this woman saying, oh, you can empty your mind almost at will. There's something about the heart energy that rises, which is something that I can feel for myself and if I'm working with a client. And I realize that if I can create this video and demonstrate on camera, and I wasn't at all sure how this would work, if this would work, as I'm still getting used to being on camera, and even for the best, you quite often have to chop things up. But I just thought I'd use it as an experiment, an empty mind, the heart energy rises, and the dowsing rods demonstrating that as the heart energy expands, the most wonderful and beautiful things can happen. Hi there. So you've just watched the experiment and demonstration of how emptying our mind and allowing the heart energy to expand and the heart wisdom, insights, higher levels of creativity, and maybe for some flashes of genius are possible. But most importantly, at this moment in our shared humanity's history, perhaps you can also see the possibilities of how cultivating an inner peace can expand into our shared wider world. Now, I really appreciate you watching. If, as and when I upload fresh videos, I will place one or two in the description below. And look forward to sharing more experiments and insights on this journey together.